Good morning everyone. Today we will start the second chapter, that is types of hardware, part 1. Let's have the overview of this chapter. As we know, a computer has types: digital, analog and hybrid. And we also know the computer works with the hardware, that is the tangible physical parts, and the software, that is saved programs and the instructions. A hardware are categorized into 4 categories. That is, first is CPU. CPU interprets the instructions and carry out operations. Memory, that holds the data. Input devices, that provides the data and instructions in a computer, and output devices, that provides the processed data into human readable form. Now the memory, as we all have learned in lower classes, that a memory is of different type. The first is a primary memory, that holds the data during processing. It is again of 2 types, that is RAM and ROM. There is another type of memory, that is secondary memory, that stores the programs and files for the long term, that is a permanent memory. Examples of these secondary memories are hard disks, CDs, DVDs, pen drives, etc. Let's understand the hardware and software. We know a computer comes in many shapes and size. Personal computer, that is PC, is any general purpose computer designed for the use by individuals. Desktops, laptops, tablets, computer are the examples of personal computers that are found in many homes and workplaces. And computers are made up of 2 basic parts, that is hardware and software. And what is hardware? Hardware is the physical parts of the computer, such as the computer monitor, keyboard, and all the inner machineries or electronics. Similarly, our software is a program and instruction that tells the computer what to do and how to do it. Hardware and software works together for the computer to work. Hardware. A computer hardware represents the physical and tangible parts of the computer, that is a component that can be seen or touched. Examples of the computer hardware are input devices like keyboard, mouse, output devices like printer and monitor, secondary storage device like hard disk, CD and DVD, and internal components like CPU, motherboard, RAM, etc. Now, one question comes into mind: what is the relationship between a hardware and a software? So there are many relationships between hardware and software. We will see one by one. The first is, hardware and software are mutually dependent on each other. That is, both of them must work together to make a computer produce a useful output. Software cannot be utilized without supporting hardware. Number 3, a hardware without a set of programs to operate upon cannot be utilized and is useless. That means without the hardware, software cannot be used, and without the software, hardware cannot be used. So next point, to get a particular job done on the computer, the relevant software should be loaded into the hardware. That means if I have to write a letter, then any word processor software should be there on the computer. The next is, a hardware is one-time expense. That is, one time I have to purchase a hardware and I can use many times. But software development is a very expensive, and is a continuing expense. That means if any time I have to update the software, I have to pay for its license. Now, different software application can be loaded on the hardware to run the different jobs. Next point, a software act as an interface between the user and hardware. If the hardware is the heart of the computer, then software is its soul, and both are complementary to each other. These are some relationship between a hardware and software, how they works together. Now let's understand the computer components. All types of computer follows the some basic logical structures and perform the following 5 basic components for converting the raw input data into the information useful for the users. You can see in this table there are certain operations are there, that is take input, store data, processing data, output information, control workflow. These are the 5 important tasks that performs in any of the computer. You can see in this diagram that is input unit is there, output unit, CPU. So we'll begin with CPU. Here is a picture of the CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. CPU is considered as a brain of computer. CPU performs all types of data processing operations. It stores data, intermediate results and instructions, that is called program. It controls the operation of all types of computer. CPU itself has the following 3 components. Number 1 is memory or storage unit, control unit, and third is ALU, that is arithmetic logic unit. Now we will start with memory or storage unit. This unit can store the instruction, data and intermediate result. Intermediate result means, for example, I have to add 2 plus 3 plus 5. That means first I will add 2 plus 3 5, then the sum of 2 plus 3 will be added to the next number. The result of the first 2 number is the intermediate result, and that result will be added to the next number. This CPU supplies the information to other unit of the computer when needed, and it is also known as internal storage unit or the main memory, or it is also called the primary storage or random access memory. The memory size affects the speed, power and compatibility of the computer. Primary memory and secondary memory are the 2 types of memory in the computer. The functions of the memory unit are: number 1, it stores all the data and instructions required for the processing. It stores the intermediate result for processing. It stores the final result of the processing before these results are released to an output device. All input and output are transmitted through the main memory. So these are the certain functions that a memory unit performs. Now the second part of the CPU is control unit. This unit controls all the operations of all parts of the computer but does not carry out any actual data processing operation. That workflow is controlled by control unit. Now functions of this unit are: it is responsible for controlling the transfer of the data and instruction among other units of the computer. It manages and coordinates all the units of the computer. It obtains the instructions from the memory, interprets them and directs the operation of the computer. It communicates with input and output devices for transfer of data and result from storage. It does not process and store data. The next part is ALU. ALU is arithmetic logic unit, and this unit consists of 2 subsections, namely arithmetic section and next is logic section. Functions of the arithmetic section is to perform the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. All complex operations are done by making repetitive use of above operations. Logic sections. This section is responsible for performing all the logic operations like comparing, that is less than, greater than, all the comparison operators are used here, selecting, matching and merging of the data that are done in logic operations. Computer memory units. The memory unit is the amount of data that can be stored in the storage unit. This storage capacity is expressed in the terms of bytes. The smallest unit of the computer memory is bit, that stores either 0 or 1. 4 bits is equal to 1 nibble. Similarly, 8 bits is equals to 1 byte. 1024 bytes is equals to 1 KB. 1024 KB is equals to 1 MB, that is megabyte. 1024 MB is equals to 1 GB, that is gigabyte. 1024 GB is equals to 1 TB, that is terabyte. 1024 TB is equals to 1 PB, that is petabyte. So these are the units used to calculate the memory. Now I request all of you to prepare the notes and revise it. Next class we will start with next topic. So for today, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.